Yo yo. Good morning, yo yo. Good morning. Good morning, yo yo. Fuck. Yo yo. Yeah, it's like it's an electrostatic like cloth. So it'll collect things a little bit better, which is better than it collecting in my brain. No, I haven't played it yet. I'm not going to be playing it for a while. Not for a while. I don't really want to play early access games. Early access games are unfinished, unfortunately. No, we're not playing it even then. And I'm not sure if I'm even doing it yet because I still need my CAT scan. I haven't had my CAT scan yet, and that's like the most important thing right now is just getting that. So I have to kind of wait and see what's going on and if they're going to call me. Yeah, I haven't really been feeling well lately. I've been cleaning and I've been kind of just resting. I get ample sleep, but I need some like high octane energy. Weather's been nice at least. That's good. That's cool. Working on a new squat list. What's it gonna look like this time? A bit hard to get people for Necromunda. It's a bit of a stretch. It's like any sort of campaign game, you really need people to kind of like dial in and want to play. Dual pistol leader. It's cool. The gunslinger squat. Yo yo, good morning. Again, just tired. Tired and unwell. The blessed combo. I'd like to work on Necromunda. I've got the squat range, but there's too many things to work on before Necromunda. I'm about to be done with the Erebor stuff. I've only got the captains, which are these guys, these two dudes. And then once they're done, I've got like one more thing for Erebor, but I'm not going to do it immediately. And then I got to work on this little GW piece. I'm going to use it as kind of like a precursor to the diorama that I'm going to do, but I'm going to film both for the YouTube channel. The GW piece is going to be a little 7-day venture. It's like this thing my store is doing where you buy and paint a mini in 7 days, and then you get some sort of like, participation award. Just a cool thing to get me back into like the groove of painting. Otherwise, I'm going to be painting like, I don't know, 15 things for a diorama. Yeah, this is the dude. This is the Grimhammer captain, which he isn't really special. He's just a Grimhammer without a helmet. There's nothing special about him outside of that, and the fact that he's fine cast makes it worse. He's like an overpriced pile of shit, but it's okay. Yeah, this guy's rocking the Devin Townsend. He's rocking the Devin. There's not many, well, there's a few, like, dwarven head sculpts for the Lord of the Rings range that are actually different. The Erebor Warriors, I think, have, like, the most diverse. They're all, like, funky looking. Oh, yeah, because they're dwarves. They're literally dwarves. I think they look fine on, you know, maybe, like, some Hive Scum or something. Some, like, low-end, you know, Empire Mercs or some shit. Nothing formal outside of a dwarf. Only dwarves could ever make the skullet look formal. Old Hammer Dwarf from some narrative box. Maybe the Grudge of Drong? I don't know if there was any, like, skullet Drong dwarves, but... If you post it, I could tell you which one it is. In stream sharing. Where are these things? I'll wipe these down. I think I had a microfiber cloth at one point. I don't know where it is. I need them. What is this? This is a random sock. Let's just wipe the sock. Yo, yo. Good morning. Let's see if this works. Bloodbath at Orc's Drift. Yeah, Orc's Drift. That's cool. Yeah, the old Citadel miniatures. There's a bunch. They're a little bit more esoteric. They had, like, villagers and all these, like, very standard, weird things. I think they had, like, Samurai Dwarf at one point. Yeah, they're funky. Goldhammer's just another rabbit hole. It's another boatload of money. And they're all lead, mostly. Bring out your lead. When it comes out, yeah. Yeah, they're just old minis. They're hard to come by. Some people still have them, but it's a niche. It's a niche for sure. Like, not everyone's gonna want to go back and get Old Hammer. Proper Old Hammer. But, you know, having a one-off mini, like, even I wanted to go back and get some Norse dwarves. I thought it'd be cool to do some sort of, like, snow diorama with, like, a Norse dwarf fighting some sort of, like, Norscan raider. Which they had a bunch of that stuff back in the day. Good morning, good morning. My eyes are getting worse. I gotta go to an eye doctor. My eyes are bad. Technically, I gotta go to a lot of places. Everything's bad. Well, this is the Warhammer channel. It's not the main channel. A sperm cell. Well, Old Hammer was... GW was such a different thing back in the day. I'll say if there was one thing I missed about Games Workshop, it's the blister packs. It's the walls of metal minis. That's like one of the big things I missed the most at GW, because it was the only thing that was affordable as a kid without having to beg your parents for money or like saving up for allowances and, you know, different things like that. Like walking into a GW and just buying like a blister pack of a mini was like the most convenient thing as a kid. Like this guy would have come in a blister pack if he was metal back in the day for like what, $8? Something like that. Obviously, he's not a thing from back in the day, but good times. It's like the same thing with the older Citadel range. It's like they were all just little blister packs of like dirt cheap minis that you could just buy and build and have fun with. Good morning, Yo-Yo. I don't know if I'd call that Old Hammer. It's, like middle-ish old. I don't know. It's in that transitional phase because like 6th edition was their big shift in aesthetic. Like 4th and 5th edition stuff were mostly, not all of it, but mostly like, you know, a bit bold in terms of design and color. You can certainly see that transitional period of like, okay, maybe we want to go more grimdark, maybe we want to go more kind of in-universe, less market-friendly, just more believable. Either way, every period has its own charm. If you isolate it, it's like really good in a vacuum. Like you can still use a lot of those old minis though with like new minis, but they obviously hold up better when you have them like with period pieces, with anything from that time. They look way better. And actually there's a guy locally who's selling the 6th edition Longbeards. Crazily enough, still in box. I just don't know if I want to get anything 6th edition outside of, like, the flame cannon, which I already have. Or technically the anvil was also of 6th edition. Not cheap. Hundreds of dollars. And I think there's only about 10 of them. So you're going to want like a block of 20 with command, and there's no command. Yeah. They're very nice, though. If you're going for like a 6th edition army, you know, I'd even wager not even getting the Longbeards would be the hardest thing. Probably clean Dwarf Warriors from like the initial Ellie Morrison kit when they first made it to like multi-part plastics, like proper plastics. That's unironically probably harder to get. Those guys are like cool as shit, but they're very short-lived kit. Actually, was it Ellie Morrison? I think it was also Colin Dixon who was doing that. I think it was both of them. I think it was both. There is a very big, shitty problem with this guy's face. The worst thing about Finecast is everything, but also the gambling of molds. Casts. Like, this guy's face is really good, but this guy's face is all beat the fuck up. It's just really, really dented, and he's got no nose. Which, if you want to go that route, that's fine, but yeah, he needs a nose. Where is Bro's face? I gotta look at the... where is this? Captains of Erebor. Image. Whenever you have no idea what you're looking at, it's good to reference the GW website. Because with Finecast, you sometimes don't even know what's going on. Half of the things on this guy are not even supposed to be here. They're just horrible casting bits. Or things that weren't casted, actually. Jesus, this thing isn't even casted. His throwing axe is like completely jank destroyed. There's just nothing there. The usual Finecast mishap. Yo, yo, good morning. Hello, sir. Good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you may be. Good day to you. Belgian, hello, sir. I think for most people it's like afternoon. You guys are all European. It is the Euro gang. Yo, yo, good morning. MK is a good movie, yeah. MK2 is totally fine. One more hour of work. Well, then it's fun time. Then you get to go home and do whatever you want. How's life? Slow. I don't really feel too good these days, but the last few days at least we've had nice weather. Spring is upon us. The sun is out, the bugs are thriving in full force. The bugs. Ugh. This is Equilibrium. It's a German band. They're good. I think most metal bands are usually overseas. Somewhere in Europe. Oh, is he really? That's really cool. It's like the people you know, man. Common Europe W. There's just a lot of good metal bands over there. You guys harbor all the weirdos. Make good music. You said me, the scabbed hand of Jarl. Last of the Jarlden mining clan. I have had so much indigestion lately. What's what is it when you've got like a burning sensation at like the bottom of your throat? Is it indigestion? What is that called? Acid reflux. There you go. I've had a lot of that lately. I don't know why. It's like burning my esophagus. Indigestion is stomach. Okay, there you go. I figured it was like some sort of like thing that would just come up. I don't know what it is. It's just been happening a lot lately. I'm like, fuck, man, is it over? Let a brother be free. It's just annoying. Rennie's might be international. I can check it out. I don't know why it's been happening lately. Maybe it's diet. Maybe it's, I don't know, health complications, but it's just annoying. It's like the older you get, the more random things start happening. You're like, well, yeah, started somewhere, some point. I'll look into it though, because it's certainly just an everyday thing at this point. Maybe it's my morbid obesity. I could try that. I usually go for walks anyways. After I eat, I take Mochi out. Just hopefully not break anything doing this. Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's just good to get out anyways. Stay limber, do stuff. A lot of what most people do these days are just kind of sitting on PCs and chilling out usually, which for me is just kind of my life at this point, so you gotta get out and move, get out and do some stuff. I spent 3 weeks painting my army for a tournament this weekend to go 1-3 and get demolished by defilers. Yeah, apparently defilers are really good right now. I feel like any sort of hotness that comes out in the hobby has to be kind of broken for a bit. It certainly helps with sales, I gotta say. I did hear they were pretty good, though. If they weren't good, I don't think they'd sell as well. At least in the competitive community. Because they look great, but you need to kind of, like, encompass both types of play. It's like, make it because it's cool and people will buy it, but also make it broken and you've got competitive players fucking frothing at the mouth. Yeah. Ideally, you just buy what you think is cool. That's always what I've done. I've never really cared about what was good or what wasn't, but it's a whole different ballgame when you're talking about tournaments and things. Which is fine, it's just their own thing. The Twin Lances. Yeah, the new GW has been doing very well lately in the sculpt department, I gotta say. We should be working for real. What? Is it early where you guys are? Is it a work day? I guess it would be a Monday, right? I just don't know what time it is. Yeah, afternoon. You should be working. Get to work. Yeah, Mondays are always a very fun time. We've got a holiday here today. Not that it would really matter, but yeah, I haven't really been feeling well lately. I got no sleep last night. Headache. I'm 99% sure I don't have the virus, but yeah, that's who knows. I'm just chilling. I don't plan on doing much. What I need is energy. I gotta go down like 50 eggs. Well, it's a usual Monday, is what I gotta say. Mondays are best day of the week, mentally. Okay, that's a bot. Oh, ban the bots. Goodbye, bot. Goodbye, Elon Musk, infiltrator. Fucking Grok come to life. Sick play, bro. The way you handled that mold line, that was so cool. Add me on Discord. So yeah, we're in the crypto space. Very popular with Warhammer fans. Very, very popular. Crypto Hammer. Well, you know what's interesting? Speaking of AI, there's people are just like the scum of the earth. Like they just steal oxygen. There's these people going around promoting. It's done through advertisements on YouTube, and I've seen so many of them, and I've actually recorded one to show my mom just to be like, you can't be this stupid to fall for this. Like this is just a scam. And it basically involves like old press conferences and shit of like politicians, whatever it may be, and they're all dubbed over with like, you can have $1,000 a week. Jay-Z, Diddy, and fucking Epstein are all banking on $1,000 a week. You can too. It's like, okay. Scan the QR code on screen to start your trial today to make tons of money every week. And there's people who fell for it. It's a lot of older folks, obviously, but the craziest thing is that it's on YouTube and it's a paid advertisement. So, like, these people are consciously preying through, like, adverts. It's really disgusting. People are just, like, such losers. Welcome to the world, I guess. Exactly. Yep. Yep. My mom, you know, they're older people. They just don't really understand. They haven't seen enough of it. They're not terminally online like most of us are at times. It's a common sense thing that most older people just don't understand or have because they're just not in that space enough to understand or see it enough. If you're aware of it, you'll know more, but like if you see something like that and you use YouTube maybe once a week or something, you're going to be like, "Wow, that's crazy." Yeah. Yeah, you just gotta educate your parents, your grandparents, and stuff like that. You just gotta really let them know. Today's technology is a bit scary, especially with how many losers there are on this planet. It's just the way the world is, unfortunately. It'll never go away, so you just have to kind of learn to live with it. Save the grandparents. Well, you never know. I mean, how advanced are those scams going to be? If they're this good now for some people, I mean, just imagine. So maybe. And you really got to resculpt half of this guy's face. It's just all fucked. The GW website always shows you the studio resins, all the ones that are like super dialed in, perfectly crisp, 1 to 1 of like the actual sculpt, and then you've got like the fine cast trash. It doesn't, not the same. It is not the same. Pretty much. Yeah, if the world hasn't ended by then, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh my god. Yikes. AI centers. And once the oceans dry up and everyone's able to sink to the bottom with, like, their hidden bases of AI operations, who knows? I guess at that point it wouldn't be hidden. Wasn't there a company, like a big one, that had pulled out of AI recently? Can't remember what company it was, but I swear there was something about them completely removing themselves from, like, AI. The UFO stuff. Yeah, that whole thing is just weird. You've got, like, the Epstein files being erased, and then it's like a few months later, I'm with the aliens. Look at my green berries. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't really trust any governments. Yeah, I don't know, bro. Uh, I'm no conspiracy theorist, but yeah, the more you see of it, the weirder it gets. Yeah. Well, who's ever running the socials clearly is taking the piss. Clearly taking the piss. I mean, didn't they also have, like, that, like, fucking, they had, like, a bunch of Nintendo games that they were ripping off as well for, like, their posts? Who's ever in charge of that account is, taking the piss. I don't think we're gonna get invaded anytime soon. I think we'll probably just blow up ourselves before we ever get invaded by aliens, but I think that's probably where we're headed.
Good morning, Toby. Hope you're doing good. Last Friday my dad took me to a shooting range with some of his friends. I never seen that many guns in my life, from a bunch of pistols to a few rifles, but my favorite one was the automatic shotgun.
Come to America. Come to America, sir. That sounds like fun. Good to get out and do things with the family. Okay, let's what are you people typing, bro? Listen, if there's aliens, they want nothing to do with gamers, okay? I gotta say. Especially people who do Warhammer. It's even worse. Sounds like Men in Black. It's like that one scene where the lady gave birth to like the baby alien. And it throws up on him. Snake Baby. The Snake Lady from 2. Those movies were good. Who knows what's under the Pentagon? Who knows what Area 51 harbors? Probably got shit like that going on. Who knows? Would they look like mochi? They'd probably look like mochi. Um, well, you've got like your, I guess, Red Corsair guys that are back with Huron, but there really isn't much in the way of like piracy in terms of minis. Well, for the sake of fantasy, you'd want something out of like Sartosa, which is supposed to be Tortuga, effectively. Some sort of mercenary gangs out of there would be nice, but yeah, it's not really a big thing in Warhammer, I'd say, in terms of like miniature ranges. There's an untapped well. The Corsairs too, yeah. It's an untapped well of possibilities. But then again, is it special because there's not so many of them? Because that could also be a thing. The freebooters are obviously the most, like, iconic thing in terms of piracy, I'd say. But are they iconic because there's just not more of it, you know? Maybe something to do with Kill Team. That'd be cool. Imagine a freebooter kill team, or like some sort of fucked up renegade thing. That'd be interesting. Glenn Hillmouth. That's pretty cool. I was reading through some of the books, like the Hulls of Ancients. I think it was the Ashways has another one. I read through a few of them. I don't really know what guild I would do. Probably some sort of like standard thing. Oh no, I read about those guys. They're at the bottom of the sump. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're at the bottom of the ocean. Yeah, I read about those guys. Yeah. There's a little excerpt of those in I think it was it Halls of the Ancients? Or it may have not been Halls of the Ancients. It's one of them. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep. Colonize the bottom of the sea. Pile of shame. Everyone's got piles of shame. Or piles of potential. Well, the hardest thing about Necromunda is finding people to play. And then remembering all the rules. Because that is a very rules dense, like, niche game. Mostly finding people to play, though. Yo, yo, good morning. Yeah, nobody plays it. Exactly. You know, of all the gangs my GW stocks or local stores stock, they're always with the squat prospectors. Like, those guys have been gone. Those guys have been out for a couple of years now, but they'll always have boxes of them sitting there. Oh. Yeah, the models are nice. Most of that range is just kind of like a weird throwback to like Rogue Trader. Like very subtly. Not in its entirety, but certainly more reminiscent than like the Votan stuff. Well, the biggest thing is you got to realize most of Necromunda, most of all those games are popular in the UK. If you're not in the UK, I mean, you're probably not going to find too many games unless you have like a local club. You can still get it, but you're in the UK, that's like the home of wargaming, so you've got just about everything being played. And it's where GW is, so. Like sales overseas, I'm sure in certain places are non existent, but yeah. Just depends on what you're into and what area you're in. You know, some scenes could be pretty big into Middle Earth, some scenes could be pretty big into like Age of Sigmar, Old World. It really just depends on kind of where you are, but in the UK, you're not really strapped, I'm sure, to find people. System no Space Marine? What do you mean? A Slave Guild entourage in stock ever? Yeah, I'm sure if there's no interest for whatever reason. Yeah, I don't know. Because they're all done in warehouses, right? So like, if you're in the U.S. and Canada, you've got, I believe, the warehouses in some state in the U.S. I forgot exactly where it was, but otherwise, you're probably just gonna take to like eBay or something and just buy it from a different country. Some things never go to stock, and some things are gone the second they're put up. eBay could be pretty bad, yeah. Or sometimes it's not so bad at all, to be honest. Buy the box, don't work on the box, add it to your pile of shame. Cycle continues. We're good, sir. I was gonna ask actually, how does the mic sound? Is it fine where you can hear me? Does it sound normal? It's good. That's good. I used to play more back in the day, yeah. Not so much these days, but maybe one day. The goal would be to get back into it. That's kind of why I'm building up armies anyways. Oh, is it? Okay. I know I lowered the gain a little bit, but it's mainly just because it's not, like, attached to my facial hair like it used to be. It used to be just kind of a little annoying to manage, so I just stopped doing it. Every time I'd move, it'd, like, rip out fucking hairs, which wasn't fun. Now it's just fixed on my light, so I can kind of move it like this, move it away. Probably see it. Can you see? There you go. It's just a bit easier for me, instead of, like, constantly moving around. Yeah, this is done for now. It's not close to being finished, but it's a good start, so I'm fine with just moving on from this guy. This needs to be refined and then puttied and then put back in place with heat. So much work to do on these fucking minis, specifically fine cast. Is always just disgusting. Finecast is garbage. It's not always the worst thing in the world, but this one is specifically just terrible. Like, half of that body needs to be resculpted. The face has to be redone. You've got to do the throwing axe again because it's just so jank. Some casts of Finecast are not the worst thing, but this one is just tremendously bad. This hobby's expensive, yeah. You can get it for cheap, though, compared to what you usually get it at for, like, retail. There's always ways to work around entry-level prices. It is expensive, though, for sure. And what makes it worse is there are multiple hobbies within the hobby. It's not just one thing you do. Minis are expensive, space is expensive, time's expensive. It's less of a hobby and more of a lifestyle, I should say, if you do Warhammer. If you do Warhammer casually, then sure, but most people kind of get into it pretty hardcore, so less of a hobby. Warhammer lifestyle. Well, Ivana's got that Pokemon lifestyle, so it works out. It goes both ways. Well, everyone should respect each other's hobbies. Life is boring without them, right? What is a life without a hobby? In any capacity. You just can't work yourself to death, even though that's kind of like the name of the game. Like, you gotta have fun sometime, you know? You gotta have some you time. Some people have multiple hobbies, though. I think that's kind of a normal thing. Then you gotta really kind of divide your time a bit more and figure out what you'll enjoy that day. Oh my god. This thing is on the verge of snapping, and everything around this hand is just so fucked. Yikes. The material is just garbage. The molds are garbage. It's just very poorly done. I think it's more of a case of the mold, though, to be honest, because, like, all these little excess resin bits are where the resin kind of, like, seeps into. And it's just garbage. Finecast has always been bad. Doesn't mean you can't make it look good, but it takes a lot of work. Do they still sell that liquid green stuff crap? I remember when that first came out, and it was like their remedy to Finecast. It was a product that was made to remedy the issues of Finecast. They still make it, do they really? Yikes. I think for the sake of fillers, I'd still rather just use putty. Convenience, you know, putty is not the most convenient thing because you have to mix it and then paste it and then smooth it. But, you know, for certain things, you want something more convenient. I mean, technically liquid green stuff works, but it's always a layered approach because it shrinks too much. I think to me a plastic putty is pretty good. A bit too rubbery though. I think this is Tungsten Joker. I need to look into more putty options. There's just so many things out there. So many countries that do them, so many brands that have them. It's good to shop around for like different supplies and different techniques. Although most of the good stuff comes out of like Japan. I don't know where AK or any of those guys are situated. It might be Poland or something. Maybe Germany, I'm not sure, but you can usually get a lot of good stuff from them too. It's just a matter of like trial and error or watching reviews and testing things out is usually the best way to do it. Or just use putty. Two-part. Army painters in Italy. Yeah, Italy and Spain are pretty interested in like miniature stuff. Stars, hello, buddy. Oh, is that your new name? I gotcha. Oh, Stars is still in the name. It's good. Although there's nothing wrong with completely changing it up. It's like a new gamer tag on Xbox back in the day. Like a new league name. New name, new you. Stealing songs. You're good. Yeah, I think it's repeating too many of the same songs. Music is one of those things where there's so much of it out there and you've probably only heard like 1%. Imagine if you heard the other 99. How many songs would you love? When you're content and you're like, there's no better bands than the bands I listen to, it's like, man, there's probably a million more. Yeah, you're a good man. Peace, bro. Have fun with the dogs. I gotta take Mochi out a little later today. Oh yeah, this is sharp. This is a very sharp blade. Maybe not the sharpest it could be, but you can kill someone with this. Not that I want to. That's a crime. But yeah, this is deadly. Very dangerous weapon, the hobby knife. Cleaning minis. Kind of hard to cut yourself, though, just because you have a certain way of doing things. It's just not possible. But, you know, knock on wood, never say never. You can be the safest person on Earth and still hurt yourself on accident. Mochi's sleeping right now. He's in the other room. Can you scratch your back with it? I'd hope not. We had a few new pictures of Mochi. Ivana sent me this one yesterday when I was out in the evening. There we go. Screen cap it. Screen capping things is easier than saving them. Because then you just drag and drop. There you go. He's with his toy. He's happy. Smoochy. He's so cute. He loves that toy. Yeah, he's really happy. He loves that toy. That's his favorite toy as of late. Yeah. He's chilling, though, in the other room for now. He looks like an emote. He doesn't look real. He's a very photogenic dog when I'm not taking the photos. I will make Mochi look like a crackhead with any photo I've ever taken. She'd be indifferent. Yeah. Mochi loves his toys. Mochi is aware of what they are, and we're like, oh, go get your toy, and he runs around and grabs his favorite one. He's ripped apart this chicken. I got him a chicken for his birthday, and it's a ball, but the legs and arms are socketed in, and you can pull them out. He ripped out all the arms and legs, and he just plays with the ball, so it's just like two eyes and a
Is that
a
all
beak.
you've got? You must have more!
Almost ripped my friend in half after we played Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Bro brought the BS Iron Man Spider-Man combo. He air juggled me for the entire match.
I know of that game, but I don't know of that combo. That's funny. A lot of older fighting games are broken. You could certainly do some bullshit in most of them. It's funny. Is out of the question in asking if you had fun. I don't think you had fun. Buddy had fun. Mochi's all about food, yeah. That's his thing. He just eats food. All dogs love food. Dude, you can't not love dogs. Dogs are amazing. Even if they only want food half the time, which is, yeah. I mean, they love you, man. I could coerce Mochi into being literally anything for food. I'm like, I want you to swim across the ocean and save Britain. And he'd do it for like a treat. He'd do it for a piece of potato. I want you to go to Japan and defeat Godzilla. He would indeed do it. It's just because the mic is in front of me. Or rather, it's above me. Yeah. I should speak more when I'm not with my head down. Mochi's everywhere. Look, here he is. Clone him. Yeah. I'm sure that's something people have done, but you gotta let some things rest. Imagine an army of mochis. Yeah, the hair gets everywhere. They're with you in spirit. It's like no matter where you go, the hair is with you. Can't escape them. Forest, hello, buddy. Hoodies and everywhere. Yeah, it gets everywhere, and you're like, you know what? It's annoying, but I still love them. That's usually the case. Pre- Present an army of mochis to the real mochi. Have you seen? I think there's been people who have had like photo real pillows and things of their animals, and they sit them next to them. And they don't know what's going on. That's funny. No matter how shit your day may be, your dog will cheer you up. Or I should say your pets. It's not only your dogs. An army of mini-me's. Dude, if you had like $1 billion and tons of land, why would you not want like a ton of dogs? Did it? Yeah, this is like visual ASMR for fine cast enjoyers. Yeah, Mechanicus comes out, what, the 21st? Pretty sure it's the 21st. It is, yeah. And Dark Tide. Yeah, there's a new class probably coming out. Yeah, I did hear about that. Everyone wants like a tech priest, which I guess would be interesting. But imagine a squat. That would be fucking sick. I mean, come on, bro. That'd be way cooler than a tech priest. Put me to sleep, Mechanicus. Put me to sleep. Bro, if you ever look at production images or product images of anything, Finecast, you're just like taken so back. It just doesn't look the same. The studio resins are so good looking. All the detail is there. It's super crisp. You're like, man, that looks great. And then yours is like, yeah, where's my dude's face at? Yeah, it's a good reference point to kind of work on it, though. You don't really know what you're working on half the time. It's all just fucked up. They printed 100 and only took the best one. What are you talking about? Well, these are different. The studio resins are kind of like in-house, higher quality casts of things. They're used for like promotional work and other, projects within GW. Otherwise, these are all the mass-produced ones. These are not dialed in nearly as well. It's not the same material anyways. I put Mochi fan art on my list to draw. Mochi would love to see it. Mochi had a bunch of kids draw him some stuff for his birthday. And that birthday stream for Mochi is on YouTube. You can go watch it on the VOD channel. think he had like 10 to 15 kids send him fan art. Mochi's famous. Yeah. Yeah, it's just because my mom works with kids, and she was like, all right, my son's dog's birthday is soon. Let's draw some dogs. And so they drew fan art of Mochi. They gave him birthday cards. This bit shouldn't be there. That bit of sprue, that is supposed to be gone. Oh my god. It's doable, but it's demonic. Not that you couldn't leave it like that and make it look like a different type of axe, but... Oh. Let's use... this. Well, I'm not really... I'm just cleaning up minis. Making minis and stuff like that, that's a whole different story, but I've been doing this hobby for 20 plus years at this point. So it's just kind of the culmination of 20 years of, like, mucking about. Like anything you enjoy and you've brought it through life with you, it's just second nature eventually. This is just such a tedious thing to do, though. A lot of it is just back and forth. Back and forth until you get it. We were supposed to do variety over the weekend, but in all honesty, I haven't really been doing anything this weekend at all. I've been kind of chilling, cleaning. I went to go help my grandfather with pruning bushes. Because he's always got something going on, and he's like, listen, I want these bushes looking a certain way. And he's really old, and he's got cancer. And, whenever he needs help with something, I'm always over there trying to help him out with whatever. So, we pruned bushes. Yeah. That was fun. It was a different conversation for sure. I'm like, what are you trying to do here? He's like, I saw these bushes out, like, that somebody else had, and I want them. I'm like, all right, we'll make them look nice, no worries. Well, yeah, he kind of talks like, well, he's an older guy. He's like 90 something, man. He's like 95. I saw these bushes over there. Someone else had them. I really like the look of them. All right. And yeah, it's all good. It's a shitty thing, but, not much you can really do.
3 more days for skulls.
I will be watching. I will be watching Skulls. I should reach out to GW again. Those guys like sponsoring people. And I was like, you know what? I've been a GW fanboy for fucking pretty much 30 years at this point, since I was born. In the womb, I was sporting dwarven armor. GW dwarven armor, of course, not Tolkien. For legal reasons. Yeah, I know a lot of people got sent Skulls packages. They got like a Joy Toy and all this other merch and stuff. That's cool. Every time someone says Joy Toy or I think of Joy Toy, I'm like, is that not just an adult toy? It's like, no, it's a Space Marine. All right. Joy, Joi. Is it really? There you go. Yeah. Well, there you go. They sound like adult toys, but yeah, they're legit. If they ever did like squats or fantasy stuff in Joy Toy, I would 100% buy it. The easiest thing to do is just release all the Space Marine chapters with all the Primarchs, and you'll make $1 million. And then it's like, you know, we've wanted to make a Votanner. It's like, why not just do one? And then it just doesn't sell. I mean, for some people, I'm sure. I wouldn't be surprised if someone tried to stuff like Angron in their ass. He was like the size of a football. Buried Joy Toy. Yeah, that'd be cool. You never know, though, right? Well, kids don't want toys anymore, man. The age of physical media lives on through, like, the parents. I grew up late 90s, early 2000s, and it was all physical media. Everything I did was physical. And now everything I do is not even remotely physical. That's why I'm 200 something pounds. We need to be a little bit more physical these days. I'm 6 foot. 220, 230 maybe. I gotta lose some weight. I'm big. I don't let it define me. It's a weird thing. Well, if it's Reddit and it's Warhammer 40k, I wouldn't be surprised. The internet 40k culture is full of degenerates. But, you know, live and let live. That's probably the least problematic thing I've seen in the 40k online sphere. Like, someone shoving an Angron fucking, like, figure up their ass is probably more sane than half of the shit I've read on Twitter. So that makes sense. That checks out. I think the bulk work is kind of done on this guy, and I'm not going to go refine him. Not yet. I will refine him at a later date when I work on all the fine cast at once. Alright, let's just blue tack this guy together for now, and a little bit more. I dread the day I have to clean up every air bubble. But there will be a day that it will come. It's good for now. Japanese subsidiary of Transformers is always creating the most detailed, cool-looking goated figures. Well, anything from Japan is goated, bro. Japan is like one of the best places to buy anything from. Like, Japanese people just care more about what they do, from what I've seen. Hello, Captain. I am building Gazgul right now, and more orcs are on their way. You know what? That's a good thing, sir. I'm assuming you're going to get the Armageddon box as well. Satan cannot tempt me into orcs anymore. I've moved on. Orcs have been my longest standing evil, air quote, army. And I just can't do them anymore. They're great, but the dwarves have stood the test of time. Alright. Well, this guy's not close to being done, but at least he's predominantly cleaned up. We still have to, like, straighten out his weapons, sand everything down properly, resculpt everything. It's not bad. Fine cast is certainly garbage, but, you know, if you sit here and work at it, you can make it look pretty good. Good enough for now. Post them in the Discord, yes. Whatever you want to share, there is a Discord for that. You should post it. Yeah, or I would say orcs are probably my guilty pleasure. You're not wrong. I've always liked orcs. I'll never not like orcs, but yeah, dwarves are a different story. They're much more my thing these days. These days and most prior. Bit of a dry spell, I think, for a little bit when Fantasy died, to be honest, because that's when I picked up 40k again and I was going pretty hard on orcs. But I still had some fantasy stuff, and then Age of Sigmar rolled around, and I was doing fantasy in that as well. But, yeah, orcs right now, it's just too much. Too much. Too much to do. Radio, hello, sir. Algerians or orcs IRL? You're proud of being an orc? Is that what you're saying? What? Shit. I don't know what that, I mean, I know Ben 10, but I have no clue what that is. Blood axes, I've seen a lot of people do camo patterns for blood axes. Something more merc styled. I would still just Google things, to be honest, just in case, but yeah. What's the typical color of the blood axes? It's been a while. Usually, yeah. People have painted them with camo patterns, kind of like drab, almost like guardsman drab. Yeah. This green. Yeah, very, very drabby colors. Camo. I mean, Snickrot is a blood axe, right? Sneaky and camo. Yeah, any sort of like militaristic, I think, you know, greenish, gray tones, I think would look really good with them. Yeah. Snickrot, I think the official art of him has, I'm looking at it now, it's got like a blue, he's more of like an Arctic blue camo pattern, which is weird for being on like Armageddon. It's like, what? Maybe that was the colors. Maybe they always painted them blue. Blue camo. Here's an old Blood Axe Commandos. Yeah, there's a bunch of different camo patterns. The old Commandos were in red. Yeah. If I was doing them, I'd make them more drab. Camo patterns with drab. Stuff like that. Yeah. It would look good. Yeah. I mean, it's up to you, bro. It's your hobby, but orcs. Tons of new things coming out. Fucking pre-painted terrain. New bikers. New dwarves eventually. That's lovely. Can't go wrong with new dwarves, right? Oh, didn't they remake Snickrot, actually? Wasn't that a thing? The old Snickrot. The old metal Snickrot was, they remade Snickrot. Yeah, he's still with the blue pattern. Yeah. Same thing. He looks good. I like that you get the head sculpt with, like, his actual visor down. His, like, spectacles. Yeah, that's cool. You actually get 3 head sculpts. Holy shit, that's crazy. It's a good-looking mini. We got the dog tags around his wrists. Just looking at the website. Just blood axes. When I was doing orcs, it was Bad Moons and Goths. And then it was a little bit of freebooters. I still think Goths are the coolest. Even more so than freebooters, which is crazy for me to say, but I think Goths are kind of like the most orky orc as they should be. Literally play Goths and run everything down mid. Freebooters are cool. Snake bites, probably my least favorite. I don't really have an interest in snake bites at all. Outside of, like, you know, the squigs, but... Got death skulls. That's more of a blue one, for sure. They're way more blue. They're lucky. Well, folks, I think that is going to be it for me for now. I'm actually going to go out for a little bit of a walk. I need to eat food. Probably take Mochi out a little bit earlier, too. We'll see. But, I'll be on this afternoon. I don't know what time. I haven't been feeling well this past week. These last few days I've been, like, energy deprived and just kind of, like, moping about. The weather is good, though, so hopefully that means something. But yep, everyone be well. I will see you when I see you, and take care of yourselves. Enjoy the week. It is Monday, which means we have a long, fun time ahead, I'm sure. So be well, folks. And peace, peace. Pet Mochi for me, I will, sir.